For 60 days prior to an election, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with said election. He details every step, she detailed every step of the attempt to overthrow the election because it's so close to the election. Close. All caps in America hit Truth Social hard last night. Trump is highly upset about the 165 pages of incriminating evidence the judge released yesterday.
What happens when a comedian roasts the former First Lady? Total meltdown, that's what. Jimmy Kimmel's savage takedown of Melania Trump's new book, Melon, sent shockwaves through Mar-a-Lago, but it wasn't just the jokes about the memoir's lack of substance that got under Trump's skin. Kimmel's hilarious jabs about Trump's priorities during the January 6th chaos. That's when things really hit the fan. Grab your popcorn, folks. This comedy show just turned into a political circus. Melania's new book, Melon, is out, and it's about as substantial as a slice of its namesake. Jimmy Kimmel couldn't resist sinking his teeth into this literary disaster. He joked that the book smells like Slovenian prenup ink, which is probably the nicest thing anyone said about it. Kimmel dug into the book's embarrassing content, highlighting gems like Trump's apparent hotline to Putin. Apparently, the former president chatted with Vlad 7 times since leaving office. That's more than he talks to Tiffany, but less than Ivanka. Family values, am I right?
I bet it's number 2, I really do. And this is an interesting twist. Trump says it wasn't him who tried to overturn the election, even though they have him on tape doing just that. It was them. And failed to rig the election. He's a rignoramus is what he is. Raving and ranting about the media and immigrants and windmills again. He hates windmills. He complained in front of a bunch of Teamsters about how much he hates paying overtime.
The teleprompter just went out.
But the jokes didn't stop there. Kimmel went for the jugular, targeting both Melania and Donald. He quipped about one particularly wild claim in the book, that Trump told Melania that Donald Jr. was bred specifically for his organs. Kimmel added, "The fact that it sounds even remotely plausible tells you everything you need to know about this book." Ouch. Critics haven't been kind either. One Amazon reviewer sarcastically gave Melon 5 stars, calling it the best book I've ever read. Talk about damning with faint praise. Meanwhile, actual book critics are tearing it apart faster than Trump rips up official documents. As Kimmel's roast of Melania's literary masterpiece continued, you could almost hear Trump's blood pressure rising. The former president, never one to take criticism lying down, unless it's nap time at Mar-a-Lago, was surely fuming. His thumbs were probably twitching, ready to unleash a Twitter storm. Oh wait, he can't do that anymore. Sad. But don't worry, folks. Trump's reaction to this roasting is brewing, and it's bound to be as measured and presidential as ever. Will he claim he's the best writer in the history of words? Will he insist Melania's book is actually a secret code exposing the deep state? Or will he just yell "witch hunt" at his TV? Stay tuned as we watch Trump's frustration with late-night mockery reach new orange-tinted heights. As Trump's anger boiled over, his fingers found their way to his phone, but who knew a few taps could unleash a digital tantrum that would make a toddler's meltdown look tame? Trump's thumbs went into overdrive as he tried to tweet away the embarrassment from Kimmel's jokes. At first, Trump's posts were just his usual grumpy self, but as Kimmel's roasts kept coming, Trump's tweets got weirder and more frequent. It was like watching a pressure cooker about to explode, but instead of steam, it was spewing out all caps nonsense. One of Trump's gems declared, "Anybody that cheats on the election is going to jail," because nothing says "I'm innocent" like screaming about jail time when someone makes fun of you. It's like yelling "I didn't eat the cookies" with chocolate all over your face. Political commentators had a field day with Trump's Twitter tirade. They noted that his frequent all-caps tweets were a sign that his frustration was reaching new heights, or should we say new lows. It seems being mocked on national TV really bruised Trump's ego. Who knew the man with the world's most orange skin could be so thin-skinned? As Trump's social media meltdown reached a fever pitch, he began revisiting his greatest hits of conspiracy theories. We're talking windmills causing cancer, and claims that he invented the word caravan. It was like a greatest hits album, but instead of music, it was just crazy talk. But here's the kicker, Trump's tweets only fueled more mockery. Kimmel, being the comedic genius he is, couldn't resist poking more fun at Trump's need to defend himself against jokes about Melania. He humorously remarked, "When you find yourself having to tell people thankful I'm not Hitler. Something is wrong. Talk about hitting the nail on the head. As Trump's posts became a whirlwind of deflection and aggression, attacking anyone who dared to criticize him, it was clear we were witnessing something special. It was like watching a one-man show called How to Turn Twitter into a Therapist's Nightmare in 280 characters or less. With Trump's thumbs showing no signs of slowing down, we can only imagine what wild claims and conspiracy theories he'll cook up next. Will he blame the lunar cycle for his bad hair days? Accuse squirrels of rigging the election? Only time and Trump's Twitter feed will tell. Trump's defense strategy just took a bizarre detour through Hurricane Alley in Nazi Germany. Who knew weather patterns and world history could be such a minefield? In a Fox News Q&A, Trump proudly announced he'd never heard of a Category 5 hurricane making landfall. "I never even knew a Category 5 existed," he declared, apparently forgetting about Hurricane Andrew in 1992 and Hurricane Michael in 2018. It's like he thinks hurricanes are as rare as his good hair days. But wait, there's more. Trump also claimed it was too late in the season for hurricanes. Someone might want to tell him hurricane season lasts until November. Maybe he thinks the weather follows his tanning schedule? Meteorologists were not amused. They worried Trump's hurricane ignorance could lead to dangerous misconceptions among the public. One exasperated weather expert said, "It's like he thinks hurricanes are as mythical as his stable genius status." Not content with just mangling meteorology, Trump decided to dive into world history. He shared a childhood lesson from his father, Fred Trump, who supposedly told him never to use the words Nazi or Hitler. So naturally, Trump proceeded to use both terms in his defense against Hitler comparisons. "I'm not Hitler," he insisted. Well, that clears everything up, doesn't it? Historians were quick to point out that casually tossing around Hitler comparisons isn't just bad taste. It can trivialize the Holocaust. One historian quipped, "Trump's grasp of history is about as firm as his handshake with world leaders." As Trump's statements became increasingly disconnected from reality, political commentators noticed a pattern. It seemed like every attempt to defend himself only dug him deeper into a hole of his own making. One analyst observed, "It's like watching a toddler try to lie his way out of eating vegetables. The more he talks, the more obvious it becomes." With each bizarre claim, Trump's meltdown appeared to be reaching its boiling point. His attempts to paint himself as a victim were backfiring spectacularly, turning him into the butt of even more jokes. As we brace for the ultimate explosion of Trump's anger, one thing's clear: in the battle of wits between Trump and reality, reality is winning by a landslide. Remember when we thought Trump couldn't possibly embarrass himself more? Well, hold on to your keyboards, because Grumpy Trumpy just discovered the caps lock key. What happens when you mix presidential thin skin with late night comedy? A digital explosion so spectacular, it's got fact checkers reaching for the aspirin and comedians sending thank you notes. Trump's social media accounts turned into a screaming match with himself. It's like he thinks shouting in all caps makes his words more true. His posts got angrier and weirder by the minute. One gem read, "Fake news is destroying America, witch hunt." It's as if he's playing conspiracy theory bingo and trying to fill the whole card at once. As Trump's thumbs went into overdrive, Kimmel couldn't resist poking the bear. He joked, "I think Trump's keyboard is stuck. Either that or he's trying to communicate with aliens using only capital letters." The audience ate it up, laughing harder with each new Trump outburst. Trump's posts got so wild, even his supporters were scratching their heads. One particularly confusing rant went, "No collusion. Covfefe was real. I have the best words." It's like watching a toddler have a meltdown in a Scrabble factory. Kimmel, always ready with a zinger, quipped, "I think Trump's caps lock key is working harder than he ever did as president." Ouch. The late night host suggested that Trump's insecurity might run deeper than his spray tan, turning the former president's digital tantrum into comedy gold. As Trump's meltdown reached its peak, other comedians joined the fray. It was like Christmas came early for late night TV. They had so much material, they could have done whole shows just reading Trump's posts. The aftermath of Trump's keyboard warrior phase? A nation divided between those laughing their heads off and those frantically Googling how to mute a former president. One thing's for sure, Trump's Twitter tirade proved that sometimes the best comedy writes itself, or in this case, types itself in all caps.